This is 2024. You shouldn't be doing that. In today's video, we'll be talking about the first aid kit and the essential items that need to be in the first aid kit, especially for the home. As we all know that medical emergencies or accidents in the house is something you don't prepare yourself for, but what is important is how ready or how armed you are when this happens, especially when you have children in the house. In no particular order, I'll be talking about the digital thermometer. The thermometer is a very important device to have in the house. In as much as we're going about screaming no grief for anybody, no grief for anybody, we in turn, we medicals will not grieve for you, because sometimes when you come to the hospital and we ask you, okay mommy, what is the temperature of your baby at home, some of you will go ahead to say, I just touched the head and I noticed that the head was hot, the neck was hot, and I gave paracetamol and I brought the child to the hospital. This is 2024. You shouldn't be doing that. What happens to using the thermometer to at least check this temperature and have an idea of what this temperature is before coming to the hospital? So please, we don't want to catch you using your hand to be touching the neck and the head and the feet and then giving any random figure and saying that your child has a fever. Please make sure to get or have a thermometer in your house. Next thing I will talk about is the need to have antipyretic in the house. It could be paracetamol, it could be ibuprofen, whichever one of choice. This drugs comes in various forms. It could be tablets, syrup, or suppository, depending on the age of your child. And I don't understand, for some reason children have a way of, they always have a way of having fever in the night, and you know that sometimes you may not come to the hospital because of insecurity or because of the distance. So it's good that you have paracetamol at home, at least to bring down the temperature before thinking of what next to do in the morning, maybe to come to the hospital and seeking professional help. The need to have a sterile gauze is very important. Some persons have the habit of using any random material, random fabric or rag to clean up a wound or to stop bleeding. It is not proper. It is good that you have a sterile gauze. Emphasis on sterile, because it is believed that it is not contaminated or infected. So please make sure to have a sterile gauze in your first aid kit that you use to clean up the wound or pack the wound or the cut at least. Next is plaster. So plaster is the kind of adhesive that is used to hold your dressing together so it doesn't fall off or look unkempt. What I would like to talk about is pain balm. In Nigeria most especially, we are used to Aboniki balm or rub, and this can be applied at the affected part to relieve or reduce any form of pain or discomfort at the associated part, especially in cases like fall or sprain or you bump yourself somewhere. You can use this to relieve the pain at that particular site. Something similar to this is heat spray. Heat spray gives the same relevance just as the heat balm. So you can spray it at the affected part and then relieve any discomfort that is affecting that area. Antiseptic. It could be Dettol, it could be Savlon, it could be Purist, whichever one. Dilute it and use it to clean up the wound instead of leaving it exposed and leaving it infected or contaminated. You can go ahead to use this as an antiseptic to keep the wound clean. Bandage come in handy, especially in the cases of a sprain or a strain. You can use this to hold the joints together before seeking professional help. Again, it is advised that you do not over manipulate the joint affected so that you don't complicate things, but in the case where you can just use it, just make sure to use it to hold the joint together before seeking a professional help at least. A pair of scissors is very important. Using random scissors in the house that you use to cut your clothes or use to open spices in the kitchen is a no. We will not agree. Please make sure to have a pair of scissors that will just be for the first aid kit and the first aid kit alone, so you don't in turn contaminate the wound or cause a cross infection. Disposable hand glove is very important. So in the case where you need to touch or dress a wound, it is good that you have a disposable glove that is not reusable. You have to dispose or discard it after use, and it is just for a single use. So please make sure to protect yourself and also protect the person you're giving or rendering care to. Is hand sanitizer. So in the case where you cannot wash your hand in a running water, it is good that you have hand sanitizer at least. You can use it to sanitize your hand and make your hands clean. It is believed that hand sanitizers clean at least 99.9% of the germs. So please make sure to have a hand sanitizer at least when you don't have the opportunity to wash your hand in a running water. Another thing I will not leave out in this video is ORS. So this is known as oral rehydration solution. Children always come down with vomiting and most of the time frequent stooling, and this in turn leaves them being weak and maybe even leading to shock in severe cases. It is good that you have the ORS solution. Prepare it according to the WHO standard and then give it to the child. At least before coming to the hospital, you can do 1 or 2 in the house or manage the situation before coming to the hospital. I would like us to understand that having a first aid kit is not just for your home. It could be for a neighbor, it could be for a random stranger, and it's not be fair that you will be in the situation where you could actually render a little care that would go a long way in saving this person's life. So please make sure to have a first aid kit that would always come handy in your home. Again, we've come to the end of this video. Please feel free to share whatever you think I've left out in this video and tell me your stories and how all of these items came in handy when you needed them. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.